Hi, and a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a wellbeing specialist. And if we wanted to get to the real heart of complete well-being, there is a question that might just help you to make enormous progress along life's pathway. And the question is to discover who you really are. Now, I know when we get this kind of a question, who are you? We have a whole range of answers based on our experience, our background, our thoughts and feelings, our personality. Yeah, I know. But the challenge of these kind of answers, which do seem very comfortable and familiar, is that they're based on a superficial understanding of who we really are, because we know that we're conditioned from early childhood to wear masks and to carry a sense of self that is really based on conditioned behaviors. It can be a little bit disturbing to peel away those layers to see if we can find out what lies beneath. I'm not promising a comfortable experience with this one, but if there is one fundamental question to answer in this life, it is to be able to look in a mirror and know who you really are. There are two ways of approaching this, I would suggest, to get the ball rolling. The first is to learn to be distanced or separate from your past. Because we normally think we're the accumulated result of all of those experience, the education, everything that we did yesterday and 10 years ago, all the way back to the beginning. And these events tend to lay the foundation for who we think we are. But the curious thing is that when you begin to distance yourself from the past, when you're no longer simply the product of that collection of experiences, you may discover there's something more to be discovered. When you start to release the layers of familiar thoughts and feelings and behaviors, you might have a very pleasant surprise and discover there is a part of you that is perhaps still waiting to be explored, a deeper sense of self. And the great philosophers over thousands of years have always taught us that this is the greatest adventure we can ever partake in. If we're looking for meaning to our lives, if we want to really know why we're here, what it's really all about, those answers can be found deep within ourselves. Curious, eh? Now, I mentioned a couple of ideas, and we've touched on mindfulness as a really powerful way to help you to take better control over your thoughts and feelings, and of course your behavior. And when you begin to notice how the flow of thoughts and feelings tend to inform your sense of personal identity, the moment you take a little step away from that stream of consciousness, you have to ask yourself, well, who is perceiving these thoughts and feelings? Because it feels different. It's not the same person who's carried along on that very familiar flow of emotional and mental energy. If there is really one purpose to this life, and we could list hundreds and perhaps even thousands of goals and achievements that we'd like to accomplish, perhaps the underlying and the most significant question we could possibly answer is to discover a little more about who we really are. I think some of the most fulfilling experiences I've shared in working with people is when they're able to lay aside habits and behaviors that were not really conducive to well-being, to happiness, success, to a sense of fulfillment. And I would argue that as we get closer to this deeper sense of self, we begin to discover the virtue, the value of being kinder, gentler with ourselves. And that leads us immediately to be kinder, more understanding and gentler with everybody else. So the change that you initiate within yourself in seeking this deeper sense of self isn't just for you, because we are really connected to everything else. And the progress you make in developing this deeper sense of self is going to make the world a better place. That's quite a dramatic statement, but I hope it will inspire you to at least begin the process of searching. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, feel free to get in touch. And if you want to talk to me privately, my email address is in the description. And in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me today for a very unusual topic. And let me wish you a wonderful day.